Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to SMG Viewers Comments, my weekly show where I help you guys out the best I can with your best comments and questions. Let's get right to it.
How does a Canadian have a better moral guideline for American than most Americans? For real, the youth needs to stop being so offended so much. You rock, Glenn.
Yeah, you know what? I saw that the whole beginnings of that whole politically correct thought police thing start to happen when I was in college. And apparently it's just got a whole lot worse over the last 20 years. So I do feel kind of bad for that. One of the things I do is I don't watch American news. That's a big plus because it's not really news anymore. It's more of a propaganda machine. My team versus your team. There's very little news involved. So my advice is don't waste your time. CNN, Fox News, any of that crap, it's a complete waste of time. Don't bother with it. The other thing is, start unfollowing people on Facebook. Recently, Facebook has become just a huge political cesspool. 10 years ago, it was great for finding friends and meeting people and that kind of thing. But now it's just become this horrible debate chamber for different political ideologies. And it's just awful because everybody's got to be right. And there can't ever be any meaningful discussion without somebody flying off the handle. So avoid that as well. You'll just find yourself a whole lot calmer. And I know that sounds really ironic, me giving advice on how to be calm, but hey, try it. You just might like it.
Hi, Glenn. What makes the difference between a professional recording studio and a killer home studio with all the gear, space, etc.? Where's the boundary between amateur and professional? Thanks.
Well, I wouldn't say amateur and professional. What you're talking about is commercial studio versus project studio. Now, project studios are usually, working out of somebody's house. I work in a 2-car converted garage. I got a buddy of mine who works out of his basement. A commercial studio is somewhere on, a place that's zoned for a business and pays business taxes as well as property taxes. That's going to be the main difference there is in the tax bill. But if the sounds coming out of the studio are awesome, use that studio.
What do you do when somebody confront you on being a metalhead?
Well, hey there, metalhead, satanic hell with God. Judging by your screen icon, I'm guessing you might have been confronted by some people of a religious bent, and that's bound to happen because they feel this moral superiority and the need to shove their religion in your face. And when that happens, do what I do. Ask what God's amputee regrow count is. All the amputees who pray for their limbs to regrow and it never fucking happens, and then say, well, when that finally happens, then you can come to me with your God. Until then, go away and back to fantasy land you go.
Hi, Glenn. I'm a senior in high school and I've got a band with my 2 friends. One of them is my best friend and the other friend, I'm still trying to get closer with her. I just don't think she's band material. She doesn't have any of her own equipment and I have to provide everything for her. And she's not practicing enough on her own. I think that maybe she could step up her game, but what if she doesn't? She's my friend, and I'm not sure if I want to kick her out. How can I make this work? Thank you.
Ooh, there's a lot of baggage with that one because I don't know what your friend's home situation is like. I don't know if she's getting any parental support. I don't know how tough her parents are or anything like that. When you're in high school, you are still living life pretty much at the whim of your parents. So I'm not going to push too hard. You guys are still in high school. If you get into college, it's a little bit different. The fact that you're providing stuff for her and helping her out, I think that's really commendable. Good for you. Have her watch this vid. And I can just say, hey, Brooks Fred, get your ass in gear. Life's short. Let's practice. There. Hope that helps.
I love your videos, but I get demotivated as I want to be a musician too. Don't get me wrong. I love your videos, but just be a bit positive, please.
Aw, what's the matter, Cupcake? Did the big meat audio engineer yell at you because you didn't practice? Music is what you make it. You're going to get out of it what you put into it. Stop whining, start practicing.
Hey Glenn, if you see this, I wanted to order from that German company. Live in Canada and you know all about our import tariffs and crap. So my question, what are you looking at when you order from that?
I think you're referring to Thomann. It's like 50 euros to ship 30 kilos, so that's about 60 pounds and I don't know, $68 to $75 Canadian to ship. Taxes are probably going to be, HST for whatever province you're living in. There might be an import tariff, but I do think we have a free trade deal with the European Union, so maybe not. It can't be that much, especially if you're like ordering a Harley Benton 2x12. It's not going to cost an awful lot of money to order one. It's certainly going to be a hell of a lot cheaper. Probably even after tax, your all-in cost is probably going to be half of that of a Mesa cab, so it's definitely worth checking out.
Sir, I'm glad I watched this prior to our recording sessions. Have you any tips for recording noisy high-gain amps? I have a Soldano clone, which make quite annoying background hum/buzz when cranked up in the lead channel.
Soldano clone. Oh, could that possibly be a Brugera? Gonna take a wild guess here. If you're getting a lot of hum, you might want to check out something called an EBTech HumX. I'm gonna put a link in the description below for you. That might help. You might have what's called a ground loop, and that might have more to do with the wiring in your house or wherever your studio is. as opposed to the actual amp. Take it to a few different places, a couple different buildings if you can, and try plugging in the amp, see if you get the same problem. At least that'll let you localize what the issue is, whether it is the amp or it's just your wiring. You know, you can take the Ria Noise X plugin, which comes free with Reaper, and you can sample the noise and run it back on a reverse phase, and that might help you clear up. Either that or get really good at manually gating your tracks. Good luck, dude.
I watched Rick Beato's video on Enter Sandman and it got me thinking about how full and rich that album sounded. Maybe I'm not looking in the right places, but all new metal bands sound way too clinical and, I don't know, muffled, flat? Not sure of the word to use here, but I hope you understand what I mean. In this style of recording rich, live-sounding rock metal like the Black Album Dead?
Yes, the Black Album was an amazing record. Bear in mind, though, in like $1990 or 91 or whatever the hell they did that record, Metallica spent $1 million on that record. So they had the time, they had the budget to do that. Recording budgets are like pitiful in comparison to that, you know, $5,000, $10,000, and that's it. So you do have to get stuff out. So it's definitely become a budget versus time thing in a lot of ways. And a lot of engineers have to take shortcuts. And believe me, I get it. Unfortunately, I think we as engineers need to start drawing a line in the sand and saying enough is enough with the auto-tune, enough with the time alignment. Let's make some rock music for a change.
Ha ha ha! It's amazing how many former school hall monitors feel the need to critique your channel, LOL.
Hey, don't forget, nobody's ever wrong on the internet.
Hey Glenn, love your channel. I never stop learning from your videos. I have a question for the next Q&A. What do you think is the best way to find a job in recording production in a new city where you haven't any contacts and friends? I've been working as a freelance engineer, session musician in Spain for almost a decade, but it's not a great country to make a living out of music. So I moved to Birmingham and I'm finding it hard to get any jobs. Any advice? Thanks for your time and never stop making great content.
Call up some studios, drop by some studios, you know, go through your local directory, see who has a studio, you know, drop off a couple resumes, go shake some hands, go to a couple events, see what's going on at local music stores, see if there's any recording clinics. Maybe you can ask questions there, you know, shake some hands. The idea is get up off your ass and meet people. Go to shows, shake hands, meet people. Play with bands, shake hands, meet people. See a common theme here?
I'm 55, I was there for the birth of metal, and even though there are so many really amazing bands out there, most of today's recordings sound so generic to me. Antiseptic is the best word I can find.
Hey Sean, I'm right there with you. I'm a little bit younger, so I came up in the 80s, and yeah, the bands I grew up with really had to play and really had to sing because there was no auto-tune. The records we have today have just cheapened the sound in oh so many ways. Don't get me wrong, I understand, you know, most people don't have access to a drum room. And that's fine, but I think the art of recording drums is being lost along the way because we've been satisfied with good enough instead of great. I can only reiterate what I said, is I think engineers need to start drawing a line in the sand and saying enough is enough. Let's make some music.
Do you have any tips for hearing preservation for beginning sound engineers?
Yes, I do. Don't monitor at excessive levels when you're sitting in your studio all day. You know, keep your volume down. You'll hear things better. Your ears will last longer. That, and if you go to shows or somewhere you know there's going to be, you know, a loud band playing or there's going to be a lot of noise, bring earplugs and actually wear them. That's what I've been doing for the last 25 years or something like that. And that system's worked out pretty well for me.
As a half-ass vocalist still training on melodic tonal content, I found death metal style vocals came natural to me when I graduated high school. Now, almost 17 years later, I've been studying a variety of techniques with mic recording that work for me. One thing I'd like to know is, would placing a software compressor on the input effects be considered acceptable if you don't have a hardware compressor in place?
Hey, Brandon, that's a great question. The short answer is no. You're not going to get the same result. Software compressor is not going to quite do what you want. Try tracking with it, absolutely. But what I'm talking about is more of a print to tape thing. You're committing to a sound. That's why I like a distressor, because it's really hard to mess it up. But yeah, try recording with it. Try the Slate distressor plugin. That's pretty cool. Use it in your monitoring chain. That might be a huge help. Good question though. Thanks for asking.
How do you feel about using pitch correct to fix one note that was slightly flat or sharp in an otherwise amazing take?
Now, apologies if I already answered this. I gotta make this really clear. If there's a sharp or a flat in it, it wasn't an amazing take. Punch in that line. Get the singer to sing it correctly. This is what the biggest problem I have with a lot of modern production techniques, because you're settling for good enough and not great. What if I fix one or two notes? What if you have the singer punch it in? What if you have the singer actually sing the freaking notes how they're supposed to be sung? Why do you insist on fixing it with a computer? But it's only one or two notes. No, when we let the stuff slide, that's when the art suffers. Don't settle for second best. The people who are buying your record, the people you're trying to sell to, deserve better. Don't treat them like idiots. All right, everybody, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the song in the beginning of the episode, that was called Song 232, and there is a 3-hour production lesson. It's called Producing Prog Metal. You can check that out in the link below. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time.